This is the solution to the second and final installment of On a Theme of AD Philidor, White to Play and question mark. Did you manage at all to figure out what is possibly going on in this position? Just take a close look at it. Well, congrats to anyone out there who managed to find the key move, which quite simply is King to G8. Now, White is wanting to head to H7. So, what is the correct move here? Well, just note here for a moment that Black could try this, and this is very trappy, because what he's wanting White to do is to take this pawn, and White would lose. Taking this pawn is the correct move. This variation, in fact, is part of the main line here, so we will come back to this in just a moment. What does Black play though? What is the correct move here? Well, if he plays this, then we play king to there, and we pick up the H pawn and we win the game. We don't take that pawn en passant. So Black recognizes that he's wanting us to take that pawn. He's not wanting us to play king H7. So he gives us the opportunity of taking it. Do we take it? If you take that pawn, it leads to a draw. So you do the thing that he thinks you shouldn't do. You play there. Now, what do you do then? What do you do in that position? Well, quite naturally, if he plays here, you can take with either pawn, but if you take with this one, and you just take a look at that, quite clearly he'll take back, you'll take back, and he can't stop the G-pawn. So that just does not work. So what he does is he takes one of these pawns. It doesn't really matter which one he takes, because you're still going to have the same configuration. In other words, if he takes like that, you'll have that. However, if he takes like that, you'll still have that. And that's the net result of all of that. So what happens now? Well, do you remember just a few moments ago I said that, here, he wanted us to take the G-pawn. Well, just imagine for a moment the G-pawn was here. We were silly enough to play that. What does he do there? Because if he takes this, we march on, we take his pawn and we queen the F pawn. If he takes this, we take his H pawn and we queen the H pawn. He does that. Just take a look at that, and Black wins. Why does Black win there? Because if White comes this way, he takes the pawn and he covers his own pawn. If he goes this way, he takes this pawn and covers his own pawn, and he's going to be able to queen the pawn, and White will lose. So what you don't want to do in that position, just to go back, you don't play king G7 and allow him to play F6. What do? You play F6. You get onto that square with your pawn. What does he do? Well, it doesn't really matter what he does. He can take the F pawn, then you take his H pawn. Let's say he goes after this. This looks as though Black should really win it, because White can't capture a pawn. Nobody can go here. Just look at that. So Black goes here, White takes. What happens? Well, he advances. Yep. And just keep going. Queen. Yep. And the queen comes down here and stops it. And so it's a win for White. I trust you enjoyed both of those AD Philidor problems.